Hi friends, this is Sundar and I'm from Watches Solutions. I hope you're enjoying my previous OOPS concepts. I'm sorry it got delayed this time to record or share my video. Please subscribe my channel, like this video and press the notification button so that you can get notifications. Okay, so let's jump into the topics that we have covered in the previous videos. So we talked about the languages, how it interacts, our program interacts our system, and what are the different types of languages, machine languages, what are the difficulties that we face when we use machine languages, assembly languages, advantages and disadvantages of assembly language, and seeing those disadvantages and difficulties that we are facing through machine language and assembly language, we have high level languages which is very user friendly, and it's similar to the English what we write. So we know the advantages of high level languages. Then we started covering object oriented programming structure languages concepts, and we discussed there are four pillars, which is nothing but abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So abstraction, we have covered two pillars or two concepts. Abstraction, it is a process of exposing the essential details of an entity while ignoring the irrelevant details to reduce the complexity of the users. So we discussed about the uh, like withdrawing money from the ATM. Like we put the card and we press the amount and pin, then we get cash. So we are not like it is not necessary for us how the process is or how it is going to the server, bank server, how it will get the cash, how it will count and everything. We just relevant to have the amount what we have given and whatever we give are same. So encapsulation is a process of bundling data and operations on the data together in an entity. So the best example is like we have a gearbox, engine. So these are all the data and the operations of a car, to speed or to accelerate or to stop, all these operations. So we bundle up this data and operations into an entity called car. So these two we have covered. So in today's video, let's cover the rest of the two pillars or the concepts, which will cover over the OOPS concepts of programming structure or high level languages. I repeat, please subscribe to my channel and like my video, share to my video so that it will be helpful for any other guys who are student or who, it might be any sort of mid-range or high level who can easily understand the concepts of the OOPS. Okay, so let's go to the encapsulation. So encapsulation. So what do they mean by encapsulation? Yeah. So this example, like we have covered in previous videos, we have given very good example of Facebook providing the access specifiers, protected and default, and other things. Right. So yeah, these are the topics that we have covered. Let's cover the inheritance. So inheritance, like general meaning of inheritance is like we get it from some other. Like let's say the best example, like we get the building or the cash or whatever the knowledge we have, we get it from someone else. Like knowledge is from teacher or parents or guru or whatever the cash we have, like our father will be giving. So that's a general example. But what does it is for programmers? A program, it will allow programs to create a new classes based on the existing class, right? So methods and attributes of the parent class will be inherited by the new created class, and we can utilize the whatever properties are present in the parent class in the child class. So like let's assume that we have a house wherein our parents will buy and we stay, we grow up there, but we will be utilizing it for our residence purpose. Or what we can do is like we get it one more or buy one more home, and we can utilize this by giving some hiring or giving rent to other guys. So anyway, like the whatever we get it from the existing class, we'll be utilizing it. So it just works on parent-child concept. So whatever the properties of a parent is there, the child will be able to utilize them and have it for their operations. So the properties of the properties of the properties of parent class can be acquired by using the extends keyword. The main idea behind of inheritance, what is advantage? Yeah, now we got it. Like yes, the properties or the operations or the methods that we are like having in the parent can be utilized by child. So what it will be? What is the advantage for me? It will increase the reusability of the code and the features that are present and support runtime polymorphism. We'll see in further slides what is polymorphism and what is runtime polymorphism. Okay, so the real time example, like our best example is car, and a car is a four-wheeler vehicle. So assume that we have a class four-wheeler and subclass named as car. So what does a car have? The or the four-wheeler have? Four-wheeler have the engine power. What is the capacity and how much gear and how many gears we have and all the other things which are required as a template, like it presents. But when I go for a class, I will extend the four-wheeler and I create a class of new class and I'll utilize what is a luxury, what is a comfort, what is size, shape, and what is the usage. Apart from like I can use engine power and load carrying capacity, everything from the parent class of four-wheeler, and it can be like further devised, like we can make a car as a parent class and we can extend this car to other classes like open car, small car, big car, which will acquire the properties from both four-wheeler and car, but still we will be having some specific properties where this way the level of hierarchy can be extended to any level. So these things can be basically it will be extended and it can be up to any level. So A can extend to B, B can extend to C, and C can extend to D. So this way we can have a hierarchical level sort of thing. Okay, so let's go to other topic, polymorphism. So polymorphism, this is a Latin word, like poly means many and forms, many forms. So that's where it comes. So the meaning is the same thing exists in many forms to perform various actions. So we have a general example like a paperweight. Let's take a paperweight sort of thing example where it can be utilized for a paperweight where your papers will not get scattered with the air and other thing, and obviously if we have some picture in it we can enjoy it, so it will become a very pictorial way. And other things, like if you want to have, let's assume if you know it is some 500 grams weight, so we can utilize like as a weighing thing where we can weigh any uh, uh, properties or any other thing. So if we take you as a person, human being can be a father, can be a son, can be an uncle, or can be an aunt, or mother, grandmother. So there are one human being, and there are many forms where to perform various actions. So there are two types of polymorphism. One is compile time, and other one is dynamic or runtime. So the compile time or static. So this can be achieved by using method overloading. So this call during the compile time or static, because compiler determines which method need to be called during the compilation of the code itself. So whenever we call it generally, so the compiler will check whether that method is present in either in parent class or in child class, and say if it is matching with the parameters or method signature. So if it is not matching, then obviously it will be raising a compile time error. And runtime or dynamic. So this can be like achieved by method overriding. So this is called runtime or dynamic because compiler determines at runtime which methods need to be called. So the biggest difference between method overloading and method overriding we will see when we write a few examples in Java. The only difference what I can tell right now is method signature or the parameters that we are sending will be same in method overriding, but it will be different in the overloading. So let's have a like method overloading is a thing. Example, if we take in general, if we go for a car example. So the speed like with 5 gears and the speed with the sixth gear. So it all depends upon we can overload the speed method, right, by giving 6 gears as a one first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear in the parameters. So it will be overloading. So we will determine what is the speed if we pass a gear value as a true or false. So let's assume if I am there in the first gear and I wanted to check, so it will be overloading. If it is like I wanted to go for overriding, so if I take movement as a method, so movement for for a creature, let's take for an animal. So I will create a class and I'll put animal of dog, so it will walk. Like it is a fish, it will swim, and if it is a bird, it will be flying. So in this way, like whenever I pass any parameter, if it is matching with a dog, if I say it is animal or a bird or an insect will crawl, right? So if it is matching with the object, then it will determine at the runtime whether it should give the respective output. So if I give dog as an input, it will call the movement method and it will give output as a walking. If I give insect as an input, it will call the method movement and it will give the output as crawling. So this is called runtime polymorphism, which will be very useful in our lives. So let's take same example of a car, which you took for previous concepts, right? Inheritance. A car have a gear transmission system. It has a 4 front gears and 1 backward. So when engine is accelerated, depending upon the gear is engaged, different amount of power and moment will be delivered to the car. So here the movement and the power, the gear system is same and acceleration is same. But depending upon the gear, it will be using the amount of power and the movement. So if we go for the first like gear, the power used will be more and the movement will be speed. So the action is same applying the gear, but based on the type of the gear, the action behaves differently, and you can say it shows many forms. So even though gear system is same and accelerator is same for but a different number of if it is at the first gear, so power will be more and movement will be more, and it will be delivered to the car. So in this way, like you can take so many examples of polymorphism being one thing. So we know what is polymorphism, and it takes many forms. So definitely we do have different types of polymorphism. So it can be static or dynamic. So method overloading is static polymorphism, while method overriding is dynamic polymorphism. So we call whenever it is time compilation, it is called static, and whenever it is at runtime, where the overridden method is resolved at runtime, that is called runtime polymorphism. So in this way, the 4 pillars are very important to understand what is object-based oriented programming language, object-oriented